Hello everyone, Navid here at the HVACroom.com. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to design Duct system in the HVAC industry. If you are ready, we can get into it. All right. So in many applications, before you can design the Duct system, you need to get the heating or cooling load. And after that part, we can go for the drafting system. Basically, what we are going to do is we have a source here. Let's say we have an air handling unit, heat pump, rooftop unit, or whatever that can cool or heat and filter the air for you guys. Okay. So this is your source. It can be installed inside the building, outside the building. We're going to talk about the pros and cons in the other videos. But let's say the source has been located here. So from this source, if I want to transfer the heated and cooled airflow to the building, I need this ductwork, which is going to be installed with insulation. Again, we're going to talk about the insulation as far as the thickness and other specifications later on. Right now, we're going to just talk about this duct system, how we want to design it, what type of shapes do we have in the industry, and what factors should we consider when we are going to size this system. So for the duct design, material is very important. If you want to use galvanized, if you want to use fabric ductwork, if you want to use stainless steel, we have pros and cons and some requirements to it. But most of the time, for a normal and typical application, we use galvanized steel. And we're going to talk about the specifications later on. But in this course, I'm going to talk about that what factors we should consider when we want to install that is going to provide the most efficient system and low leakage, basically. So let's review again. Until now, we have the heating and cooling loads. We know how much airflow we want to transfer from the source to the space. And we know that for this transition, basically we need the duct system to be installed between the building and the source to transfer that heated or cooled air to each zone, basically. We have different materials and different shapes for each duct system. As far as installation, this is very important that in some applications, you've seen that contractor is going to install the duct system without any calculations, which is totally wrong. Because if you install a system with so big sizes, you are increasing the first cost basically. And if you are installing the system so small, you are going to increase the noise and sound in that area. So again, if the installation is done poorly, you're not going to get a good efficiency from the system. You're going to see some leakages and the cost is going to go up. So the duct size should be done properly, not so big, not so small, just size it perfect. So when I say size it perfect, we should consider three parameters here. One of them is the airflow transfer. So for example, how much airflow, how much CFM do I have from the source to the space? We got to look at the noise criteria. We have a table for this in ASHRAE. So for example, if you are working in a hospital, in a library, in a classroom, in a lab, what is the maximum NC in that space that when the system is working, we are not going to increase the sound level in that area, which is very important. And the third one is the pressure drop. Again, the pressure drop, if it's so high, it's going to increase your current cost. If it's so low, it's going to increase the duct size. So again, the pressure drop is another factor that should be sized properly. We're going to talk about these parameters and factors a lot in the next videos. So as far as the system component, for a typical and normal system, if you have a rooftop unit, if you have an air handling unit, if you have a heat pump, you're going to see these components. First of all, you need a supply duct. The supply duct is going to transfer the filtered, heated, and cooled air to the space. Return duct is the opposite. Basically, when you supply some air to the space, you got to return it back to the air handling unit. In some applications, we can eliminate the return duct, and we have to because of contamination and other things. For example, in the lab spaces, in the hospitals, most of the time, we need to go with 100% fresh air. We're going to talk about this later on. You also need some diffusers. These diffusers is going to transfer the air from the ductwork basically to the space. It can be ceiling mounted, it can be wall mounted, floor mounted. We also need the balancing dampers, which is going to be installed on each branch, just to make sure that after the installation, contractor is going to balance the system. So all the numbers after the installation, after the test and balance report, is going to match with the numbers we have in the drawings. So that's the very important part after the installation. All right, in the next video, we are going to talk about HVAC duct design. And please let me know what you think about this video in the comment, and please share with your friends if you liked it.